Watch me turn this spare bedroom into this awesome full bathroom. First stop, Home Depot. Let's go. Okay, just picked up two 4x8x8s, 12 2x4s, all loaded up. Let's go. Not bad. I only paid $180. To me, that's not bad. I was expecting to pay more for that. Okay, so the tools you're gonna need to get this job done are safety glasses, tape measure, chalk line, carpenter's pencil, speed square, framing hammer, gloves, skill saw, framing gun, sawzall, laser level. So if you can't afford the laser level, a basic 4-foot level will do the trick. None of these tools are being sponsored by the manufacturer, and I will have links in the description below if you want to purchase them on Amazon, where I may get a small commission if you do click those links and purchase these tools. Okay, so the first thing we got to do here is make room for this header and jack studs and king studs. So I got to remove all the existing 2x4s below this area of this wall. This is going to be the opening for the laundry room. So let's get that going. This is going to be my king stud here. I'm going to put another stud against this, and that's going to be my jack stud. And then I can sit my header right on top of the jack stud. I just measured my jack sizes, which is going to be the stud that's under the header. And now I'm going to cut them. Okay, one jack stud up, got a header. We'll sit right on top of that. I'll expand across this way, and I'm going to put another king stud, another jack stud here. This is going to be my header, which is, let's call it a 4x8. So they call it 4. It's actually 3.5 by 8. It's actually 7.5. But this is what the building department required I put for a header, because the wall I just opened up is a bearing wall. So I'm going to cut this to size, and we're going to put it in. This is the tricky part. When you're doing it by yourself. This building was constructed in 1944, and look at the levelness of this bottom sill plate on this wall. Dead on. You have to start your leveling from the ground up, because if you don't check the bottom level, the floor side of things, if it's not level and you try to level off of that, well, everything's going to be off. So you got to level first on the bottom, make sure that's good. If not, compensate for it and make sure you can use a laser, which I do have. Didn't need it yet. We'll get to that eventually, I'm sure. But that's how you do it. One wall down, I got the opening. Got my header installed, got my framing down here. I cut all the plaster back. And now that's gonna be the entrance to the laundry room, which will be right in this area. Okay, so I gotta move this double outlet here. This is for this room, and the opposite is my office right here. So the first thing I did is went to the panel and turned off the breaker, and I used my tester to make sure there's no more power here. So very important, you make sure there's no power to any receptacles you are moving. Always double check that. Okay, so one's loose. Yeah, it looks like porcelain. That's awesome. Look at that. I'm going to open up this wall quite a bit, probably about 7.5 feet, and put a header here, because I'm making an opening so my office on the other side will now have a nice 24-inch closet. Okay, so the next step is going to be opening up this wall to make the opening for the office closet. So what we got to do is remove all these studs just like we did on the laundry area, and then we're going to install the jack stud on each side and the king stud on each side, and then cut in the header. And that's going to start here and come all the way over till about probably right here. So just telling, the whole point of this project was to install a bathroom, a full bath, and a laundry area, but I'm also taking advantage of this odd size of the width, so that enabled me to still have a 7-foot wide bathroom, and add a 2-foot closet to another room, which is a really big plus. So here we go. Okay, so what I got here is I just took out the wall studs. I cut my jack stud and my king stud in on both sides. And now I'm ready to measure the header and put the header in, just like I did on the other wall. So let's get to it. Okay, got the big header up with a little help from Teresa. And got the cripple legs in there to sit right underneath the ceiling joist, which is required. And I'm going to take out this window, stud it in. It's going to be deleted. There won't be no more window here. I'm going to remove this right now. I'm going to stud it in, temporary, put some plywood on the outside to keep the weather from getting in. And until the stucco guy can come out and repair all the stucco. So let's get going. Okay, so I pulled off the interior trim pieces here all the way around. That's the first thing you got to do. I took out the screws. There was a screw here, screw up in the top there, and the same on this side for 4 screws total. I actually can't believe how small the screws are that the installer used. Those are pretty tiny. Okay, now I got to take my knife here, and I got to cut all this caulking on the outside all the way around this edge here. Okay, taking apart this old window frame, which was likely the original to the building back in 1944. Don't need that anymore. Take all this apart. Okay, just as I start opening up that window and taking it out, it starts raining, and it's been downpouring here, so luckily I have a garage. I bought some 1/2-inch plywood a couple days ago, so I'm now going to take that just to temporarily close up the outside of that window, keep the weather out as best I can. Then I'll put some Tyvek wrap over that just to keep as much water from getting in as possible. And then I take my chalk line here and snap a line. I'm going to take my skill saw. I'm just going to set it to a little bit more than a 1/2 inch. So I cut all the way through the board. I want to make sure you don't have this as deep as possible when you're cutting thin wood like that. You might cut something underneath it by accident. Go install it. I need to go get my raincoat. Now I'm going to put some of this house wrap on here over the plywood on the outside just to help keep the water from coming in. Okay, so now what I got to do is I got to screw down this old subfloor. They used nails way back in the 40s, and when you walk on a subfloor built in an older house, well, you work on any kind of floor in an older house, you're going to hear squeaking, and that's where it comes from, these boards. So the nails come loose, and they start moving up and down, and the board moves up and down on the nail, and that's what makes that squeak. Okay, so these are the Deckmate 3-inch star drive coated screws. These are basically deck screws, and these work really good. So I'm going to put one of these next to each one of these nails, all the way along here, from one end of the room, one side of the room to the other. That's the way my floor joists are running in this direction here. So I'm going to go all the way across the whole room and make sure this floor is not squeaking anymore. I'll let it go in just past the height of the floorboard. So I don't want any kind of bumps in the floor when I'm putting my finished floor down. What I want to point out here is there's the nail right there. So I want to put my screw really close to that nail. There we go. Okay, another Home Depot run. Got a whole bunch of 2x4s. Got some finished plywood for my subfloor. All this for $268. Not bad as far as I'm concerned. Whole box of screws, adhesive. Just gotta get it all in that van. Okay, so I just put down my first piece of 1/4-inch subfloor on top of my original subfloor, because I'm gonna put vinyl plank down here in the bathroom area. So perfect height. My plank will run right into the hardwood floor perfectly by using a 1/4-inch piece of this. So what I did was I put construction adhesive underneath before I laid it down, and I screwed it off about every 8 inches and then every 2 inches on the edges. Okay, so right now I'm putting down the construction adhesive right here. These are 1.25-inch gold screws, and it's always good to start from the middle and then work your way out. What I did here is I made marks on the bottom plate where my joists are, so I know where to screw it in if I want to be right on top of that. So I'm going to start right about here. I'm just going to put the screws in just below the surface of the plywood. Just remember, this is only 1/4 inch. It's not very thick.
Okay, 1,000 screws later, my subfloor is pretty much done. Now I can start adding some walls.
All right, check out my latest tool, my Milwaukee 360-degree 3-plane laser. I had to have this one because it does all kinds of stuff. It shoots upwards. As you can see the beam, the green. Now I can get up there and mark right where the top of this wall is going to be as well. This is good stuff right here. Great accuracy. Okay, so now it's time to build the interior walls to separate all the areas. So I'm gonna have 2 walls here. That's just gonna enclose my laundry because I already have the existing walls up here and here. And then I'm gonna stand up this long wall that's gonna separate the bathroom from the office closet. And then I'm gonna put this small partition wall here that separates the tub shower from the toilet area. This wall here will go all the way to the ceiling, just like all the rest of them. So let's get this going. All right, so I'm finally making some progress here with these walls. So I've got the laundry room framed in, 2 walls. So the access would be from the hallway out there. That's done. Now I'm gonna prepare to put this long wall up, which will separate the bathroom from the closet and the office. But first I gotta do a couple things to prep that wall so it has the proper nailing points all the way down. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so my long wall that's going to separate the office closet from the back bathroom wall is going to go from here all the way up. So this deleted window, you remember I took the window out. Now I have to put a proper pocket right here, all the way up in between the header and the sill here. That way there, when I put the wall, when I stand up this wall, I can nail it on there properly. And I'll have returns on this side and this side for the drywall guy to come through and screw his drywall. That's if I don't do it myself. All right, so let me show you how to make a pocket when you're framing. A pocket is so you can attach another wall to an existing wall. So what you're doing is you're taking 3 2x4s, one in this direction, one in this direction, and then the last one is gonna go like this. And then right here will be the face facing out here, and I can nail my new wall right onto this. And I'm leaving 1.5 inches on each side for the drywaller to be able to properly fasten the drywall. All ready to go. So now when this wall comes up, I can nail it right to this. Okay, so the last bit of framing I have to do is to take this door here, which is for an existing closet. Currently the door sits over here. The left side of the door is over here. So in order to make room for my vanity, I had to move this door over. So what I gotta do now is just cut out a few studs here, put a new jack stud in on both sides, and then install a new header. And then the door will be in this position here. I gotta move this door opening from where it is now over to here. I want to mention I am going to reuse this door jamb setup. This is for my existing door that I already have. So I cut it off nice and clean, and I'm going to put it in the garage for now until later. All right, everybody, the framing is done here. I have finished moving the closet, the door for the closet right there. This is going to be where the vanity's going. Laundry room's on the other side of that wall there. Here's my tub shower area. I installed the bathroom fan. And then, you know, we got the toilet area right here. So my electricians are coming over here any minute. It's 7:30 in the morning, and they're gonna spend the whole day here wiring this up, putting in recessed LED lights, all kinds of receptacles that I asked for, switches, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So it's coming together. Stay tuned for more.